and roll. What is up, Team Happy and Fit? I love you so much. I love this team so much, and it is just such an honor to lead with you and to be in the trenches with you and to be on this team with you. It's so crazy to me to think about how far we've come as a team, and it's remarkable. Out of curiosity, how many of you have been on 10 or more team Zooms? Raise your hand if you've been on 10 or more. Look at that. There is no secret of success. When I first started, I got on every Zoom I could. Always. Like, I just was so hungry, even though I was an overworked, burnt out teacher. I just was hungry for it. And what's really cool, actually Kai's on here, what's cool about that, we had a Zoom the other day, and she's like, yeah, I was telling my husband about it. And I said, that's where you win. Because every time you get on a Zoom like this, you need to let the people who are in your household know what you're learning, why you love it, and what's happening. Because as you're growing, you don't want them to think that you're growing without them. Does that make sense? Make them feel a part of this, even if they don't totally get it all the time. I thought that was amazing. How many of you, this is your first or second team Zoom on a Tuesday night? Raise your hand. We have some new coaches in the house and on this team. How many of you've been on more than you could even begin to imagine and count? Like, you have been on so many Zooms, you don't even know. Yes, that is awesome. Definitely. I want to read you this book. Not the whole thing, don't worry. I am reading The Power of Positive Leadership. This entire book has been rocking my whole world. If you have this desire to build a community, build a team, lead a team, do what we've done with Happy and Fit, you need to read The Power of Positive Leadership. And it's so crazy because so many of the things John Gordon said in this book, I said, that is totally what I did. And I just didn't write a book about it. Does that make sense? I want to read this little tidbit he had. He said, we think it's our job to protect people from the pain of failure and defeat. We think that dreams were meant for others. I say there are enough pessimists and realists in the world. The world doesn't need more negativity and impossible thinkers. The world doesn't need more negativity or impossible thinkers. The world needs more optimists, encouragers, and inspirers. The world needs more people to speak into the hearts of others and say, I believe in you. Follow your passion, live your purpose. If you have the desire, then you also have the power to make it happen. Keep working hard. You're improving and getting better. Keep it up. The economy is tough, but you can still grow your business. The job market is not great, but I believe you'll find the right job for you. We've hit a lot of obstacles, but we'll get the project finished. Even if you fail, it will lead to something even better. You're learning and growing. We all love working for and with people who bring out the best in us. We love being around people who uplift us and make us feel great. And while we'll always remember the negative people who told us we couldn't accomplish something, we will always cherish and hold a special place in our heart for those who encouraged us. I want to encourage you to be an encourager. Leadership, as I wrote earlier, is a transfer of belief. Whew, that couldn't be more true. How many times have I told you exactly what you need to do to freaking hit Success Club? And then you're just not doing it. It's not about the knowledge. It's not about the things I can teach you. It's the 100% the belief within you. And I just think it's so crazy when you really hold on to, we don't need more negative people in the world. Your job as a coach is to literally inspire and to empower, to bring hope, to show others what's possible. That is your job, is to literally become the best version of yourself so you can empower other people to become their best versions. I think you have it within you to do that very thing. Are you freaking fired up with that? That you literally every week get to collaborate with people who believe in your dreams, whatever those are. And I always tell you this, and I will never stop. Your vision is my burden. I will never stop leading as hard as I can until you get to wherever it is that you want to get to. And you'll never get there. It's not an end destination. You'll get to the point where you thought that that was your big dream. Then you get it, and then you're like, what's another one? Let's go. You're going to constantly challenge yourself to grow throughout this life. And why not do that by bringing people alongside you? That as you go through this journey, that you can transform the lives of people and massively believe in them so then that they can do it too. Morgan Schaefer told me, I said, Morgan, you're crushing it. What's going on? Talk to me. What are you doing? She said, Julianne, I'm using exclamation points. Real talk. She said she shifted her conversations to complete enthusiasm. She shifted her conversations to believing in other people when they didn't believe in themselves. Her passion, her purpose, her fulfillment as a coach is literally getting out of her and going into her conversations. And I said, yes, I use exclamation points too. That makes sense. It made so much sense to me when she said that. You and your enthusiasm and your energy and belief is the number one way people are going to do this with you. It's not the ingredients in Shakeology. It's not these amazing videos. It's how you connect with other people. And sometimes people don't want to get on that bus. They don't want to get on the belief bus. They don't want to get on the positivity bus. They don't want to transform lives because they're a mess, as we all are, but they don't think that they can do it. They don't have any desire to want to empower other people. And do we say bye Felicia to them, which I've seen coaches do because they're frustrated and in all actuality hurt? I've said that. She just doesn't care. I'll make excuses. And really what I'm trying to cover up is that I'm bummed this person said no, right? Instead, what if we shifted our focus of, man, maybe I can massively support them and encourage them in this journey, even if they're not doing what I'm doing yet. That through my posts, I'm going to speak to her. I'm going to show up for her. And that's how I feel every day. I'm just like, who is she? You guys, today was a battle for me. I don't even know why. And as we were taking a walk, Eric said, Julianne, did you know that they found out Avicii actually killed himself? And I said, no way. He was 29, 28. And I looked at Eric and I said, I know I've been a pain in the ass today. And I said, I'm not going to be anymore. My life is so abundant. My life is so good. And I'm so fixated and focused on everything that seems to not be going my way that maybe if I start shifting my focus, I'll start to see all the abundance in my life. And as we were walking, I just noticed the green trees, the beautiful breeze, Wyatt being a complete fool, and Eric laughing, us running and hanging out. Jess and I had a conversation when I was at the park and she was made me laugh. And I was just like, wow, life is full of abundance. And so as you're working your business, what if you started to approach your business with abundance? You started to really appreciate that you have a lot of people that aren't ready yet, but that's why you can't quit. Maybe you can start to really shift the way you look at the frustrations in your business and shift it to an opportunity of growth. And really start to see how you can make such a difference in a world that is consumed and obsessed with insecure people. Right? Isn't our world like that? They're obsessed with all these famous people who literally are so insecure. And maybe we can be so obsessed with growth, so obsessed with positivity, so obsessed with dreaming, that that's how we stand out in this world that has no problem gossiping in a negative way. What if we turned gossip into a really powerful thing? What if we started gossiping positivity? I read that in my book today. And because we always say gossip is bad. John Gordon says, no, it's not when it's freaking positive. If I were to go to Turner and be like, dude, Maddie, freaking goal crusher. She's the best. I'm seriously so consumed by like how excited I am for her. Isn't that awesome that I would talk behind Maddie's back and say that stuff to Turner when Maddie wasn't there? Could you imagine if Amanda went to Laura and was like, dude, you got to hear about this girl, Ashley. She's freaking fit and inspires me every day. Like, I know I can like up it now. I know I can do that. What if we started being more like that? And that's how we led. We led with exclamation points. We led with vision, and we led with courage. Because a lot of times we get so down on things that are not going to matter 5 years from now. We get so tripped up that we missed a goal that it allows us to be paralyzed and not move forward. And in all actuality, had no big meaning, right? Maybe you missed Success Club last month. Oh, well. Maybe you just hit 2 points. Are you kidding? That's awesome. How about we shift your focus and shift your life? And we lead with massive enthusiasm as a team. Are you in? I am fired up. Our team is on fire, and it is awesome. So real fast, I hope you have a paper and pen. You're logged out of Facebook because, again, that's not going to grow your business right now is when you're multitasking. Been there, done that. It's a challenge for me, but I put it away when I'm on mastermind calls. On a national wake-up call, which happens every Monday, this coach who, you guys, these coaches are giving you everything. And it's quite amazing I'm loving the chat box. It is literally like, yes, yes, yes. Like, keep it going. I'm loving it. She said that she sets goals in quadrants every week. And so this is what I've been doing with my challengers. And I want you guys to do it really quickly right now is I want you to make a quadrant. It's a 4 quadrant thing, and personal business. And I want you to write 2 to 3 goals for your personal business in that quadrant. It could be, I want to help 2 new coaches. I want to hit Success Club 5. I want to hit Emerald. I want to do whatever. And then what I want you to do as you write down your business goals, I want you to highlight something that you're not going to break a promise with yourself. If you hit the others, it's a bonus point. But I want you to envision what it is that you want this week, what you want. Does that make sense in that quadrant? So SD5 could happen this week. 2 coaches could happen this week, right? But I want you to set it for this week. And I want you to set 2 to 3 goals. But the 4 vital behaviors are non-negotiable, you guys. So that's a given. And I want you to understand that. Sometimes we set goals that are so within our reach, we don't know how to dream bigger. Sometimes we set goals. If hitting Success Club 5 is easy for you, you need to start going for 10. If 10 is easy for you, you need to go for 16. Does that make sense? Like, we cannot allow ourselves to get so comfortable. So in the personal business, I want you to write them down in the chat, what you're writing, 2 to 3 things and ideas for people. Maybe it's a certain amount of messages. And you know what? This is what she said with her quadrants. She says, I didn't have the time to send out 10 messages each day. So on Monday, I sent out 35. Take the pressure off yourself that you have to do this every day. Just set a weekly goal so you have a target. Does that make sense? But I want you to highlight 1 out of the 2 to 3 that is, you're not going to break a promise with yourself, no matter what. The other ones are bonus. I want you to set another goal, 2 to 3 goals with your family. So maybe that's unplugging. Maybe that's the thing you highlight. Maybe that's the thing you're struggling with. Right? Or maybe you're going to the park daily. That's Eric and I's thing. We didn't go yesterday, and you guys know that's my thing. I love going every day, and I broke a promise with myself yesterday. Maybe, honestly, that's why I was in a funk this morning. I'm not kidding. It's so crazy how one little thing can really change your mood, right? That fills me up. That's my time away from the noise. Does that make sense? I want you to set 2 to 3 goals. I hope you're blowing up this chat because I'm about to look at it. as you are going, what is your goal with your family? Maybe it's to not sit on the couch for dinner. It's to sit at the table. Maybe it's to not have phones at the dinner table. Maybe it's to not have the TV on for family time, but instead you play a game or you do something different. Does that make sense? Thank you for blowing this up. Then what I want you to do in the other quadrant is, what is your 2 to 3 goals for your challengers or the team? Remember, I always say deposit. Do not expect anything. Do not expect anyone to serve you, hold your hand, teach you everything if you're not willing to give too. Does that make sense? So with your challengers and with the team, what are 2 to 3 things that you want to work on this week, but highlight one where you're not going to break that promise? It could be you're going to set up graphics. Maybe you have some canned responses to send out. Maybe you need to make a recognition post. Maybe you need to respond back to your challengers. Maybe you're going to set up a weekly email with your challengers. I do mine every Sunday or Monday. See, I don't give myself the pressure to have to be on Sunday. Do you see that? Then if I miss Sunday, and I promise Sundays, I'm going to be mad. I said Sunday or Monday. That is when I always send an email out to my challengers. So if I don't get to it Sunday, I'm going to do it on Monday. And then voila. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. And then in your 4th quadrant, personal. 2 to 3 things for your personal life. Your self-care. Maybe it's you're going to give yourself the gift of no sweets. Maybe you're not going to eat out. Maybe no more Starbucks this week. And again, this is what you need to do. You need to highlight one thing you're not going to break a promise with. So if you don't highlight the out to eat thing, but you only went out to eat once and not 3 times, that's a win, right? That's a win. So I want you to evaluate each week. I want you to not merely survive your life. I want you to be intentional with growth. I want you to be intentional with who you are as a business owner. I want you to be intentional with your self-care. I don't want you to wake up and be a zombie. I don't want you to miss the abundance. I don't want you to miss the wins. I don't want you to miss out on such insane momentum because you are in this day-to-day thing of life. I don't want you to live like that. And it takes intentionality. It takes journaling. It takes writing things down. It takes focus. It takes you really figuring out what matters to me this week. What do I really want to accomplish this week that is not just going to make me feel successful, but also fulfilled? That this is the thing that fills my soul, right? And for me, a personal thing is the First 5 app. It's an awesome devotion. First 5 minutes of your day. I love it. It's so good. It fills up my soul. And that video we were watching right before you hopped on, I love it. I love it. That makes my heart so happy for personal care. I sing it. You guys see me singing all the time. I need to be in a musical. I'm going to set that as a goal one day. Eric, I don't know I don't know. I think he would support me. My rebounder, my little mini trampoline, that wakes me up. That gets my body going. If I'm stressed, I go jump on that thing, instantly changes it. The physiology. You have to understand this. You have to change your thought. In order to change your thoughts, you have to write things down too, but you have to change your physiology. How you sit. If you are going into a conversation like this and timid and all crazy, I talk about this. You're not going to come across as confident. You're not going to come across as this person who's really enthusiastic. But when you're up in there, even if they can't see you, and you change your physiology, you're shaking your ass a little bit, you're playing some good music, you're really getting into it, and you are sending out messages because you care and you're connecting and you have all this enthusiasm, guess what they're going to feel? Just as much as when you are feeling stressed, you've got to change your physiology. You got to change where you're sitting, what you're doing. Mine was going for a walk today. I changed my focus, changed my thoughts, changed my physiology, instantly put me in a good mood. It's crazy. I want you to be super intentional. So that is one thing. We're going to be all over the place today. Stick with me. Sarah Morrison's awesome. That's my sponsor. She's incredible. and I love her. And she just has a really great way of communicating, and she's just unbelievable. And last week, some of you were on this Zoom, and it really stuck out to me, and I'm going to quickly brush by it. And she said this, and she got it from Trina, and she said this: where in your life are you holding on to excuses? Where are you showing up with excuses in your life? Are you justifying? Laura said this, I hope it's okay I'm sharing, but I thought it was so relatable, that if I eat this, I know I'm going to work out. I've been there, right? What's an excuse that you're holding on to not go for it? Maybe it's to be mindset. You're like, no, I can't purchase that because of money. I'm not saying you need to, but I'm just saying maybe you really are excited about it. And some of you are probably like, how did she know? That's what I was thinking. I don't know. I'm just saying it. What excuses are you holding on to in your life? I can't work out in the morning, ... What are excuses you're holding on to in your life right now? I didn't hit Success Club because it was a busy month, right? Or what is your excuse that you're holding on to that is getting in the way of your dreams, that's getting in the way of setting your soul on fire? What excuses are coming into your life and you're holding on to them? That is a hard one for me to do, because I like suppressing things. I like ignoring things. I like just pushing through things. Does that make sense? It's hard for me to focus on that and admit that I'm an excuse person, right? And so instead, I do something else and cover it up and do something else instead. Start a new project. I don't push through one because I got a roadblock. What is your excuse that you're holding on to that's getting in the way of you crushing it right now? Yeah, new job. Maybe end of the school year. I hear this one all the time because I was a teacher. The end of the school year, I got finals and I teach, and these kids are crazy. Julianne, don't you know? Girl, yeah, I know, but I still did it. I was a teacher and still made it happen. I was a teacher and went Emerald and then Diamond and hit Success Club. I did it. I know it. And I pushed through it, right? So maybe that's what you needed to hear today. What excuse is not helping you move forward in life? And maybe when you start to evaluate that and really listen to it, you're going to really identify, and you're not going to realize that you're making excuses. I'll take my rest day today. That makes sense. I'll just do it today. I'll replace it from Sunday to Tuesday. Sometimes in life, yes, but are you relying heavily on the lack of motivation and not wanting to? Or is it a logical decision, right? Lack of sleep is for sure a big thing. Where in your life are you showing the most growth? Where in your life are you showing the most growth? Have you implemented things that you've heard on calls right away? Are you really hungry in personal development? Did you follow 80-Day Obsession to a T? Where are you showing the most growth? You're putting yourself out there on social media like never before. Where are you showing the most growth? Meal prepping, that's huge. Yep. Instagram stories, that's awesome, Caitlin. Where are you showing the most growth? Are you being innovative? Are you wanting to grow in the area of Instagram, and so you're watching as many videos as you can on it? Leadership, absolutely. You need to read The Power of Positive Leadership. That will drive your culture. That will drive your success. You as a leader, every single person on this call, you have it within you to be the greatest. And people want to follow you. And the only way to do that is to believe in them and for them to trust you because you truly care. And that's what makes our team so amazing, is that we care so much. Did you know that Sarah Fried and I co-founded Happy&Fit, and we have 2 separate downlines on this team? Meaning Sarah is not anywhere in my downline. I am nowhere on her downline. And we have 2 teams together and we overserve whoever's willing to want to be served, that there are coaches on this call that are not even in my downline. There are coaches in Team Happy and Fit that are on neither of our downlines that confide in me and want advice. And I said, do you just want me to put you on a team page? You want to check it out? Take whatever, right? Leadership is about belief. And leadership is about shifting a positive culture, believing in things when things don't look so good. When everything feels like it's falling apart, and you wouldn't always know this. There have been times in this business where I'm like, it's over. I'm done. I would never quit, but it just felt like everything was falling apart before it got good. Better always comes after worse. And you need a team culture and leaders to cultivate that belief when everything feels like it's hard. When you are stressed, you need to connect to positive people because they're going to help you get through those hard times in life. And what I think is really cool about coaching is that coaching helps us have a great life. It isn't just business. Literally, what we do helps us be better people for the people in our life, for husbands or boyfriends or girlfriends or friends or students. We literally become so much better at life because we choose to do life for a living. We choose to live it with joy and empowerment. And why would we want anyone to hold us back from that? Why would we give them the permission to speak lies into us when we know that we have so much potential and so much to give to others? Why on earth would we let anyone stop us that's not on this call, that's not a part of this culture, not a part of this team, and tell us what they think? Why? You are a part of something that's so big, and there's so much room for you. And you have to believe that. I can't say that enough. There's so much room for you. And if you just were to massively lead with belief, when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. Ask Lauren Lundberg. She was the first person in my downline that was even willing to do anything, and it was a miracle. And I just clung to her. I was like, I will teach you, and I don't know what I'm doing. I never said that. She probably thought I didn't know what I was doing. And I just led with belief in her. I was just excited she was willing to post on social media. She was my first coach to do that. And I just believed in her. And she's about to be a 2-star coach on this team. Are you kidding? I'm so stoked. It's just crazy what can happen when you just believe. You can't do this off of logic. You cannot be successful in this business based off of logic. If I were to have looked back, being an Emerald coach with Lauren Lundberg, she wasn't even my PS at the time, and led with logic, I would think I'm not qualified. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting $14 paychecks. Who am I? I couldn't lead with that. I just led with, this is changing my life and it's really addicting and I love it and it's just fun. I led with that. And I said, Lauren, you're doing such a great job. And I led with lifting her up and encouraging her and giving her shout outs. I led with being resourceful to get her and find any materials she needed and just found it or created it, figured it out. Right? I was willing to do that and figure out the how, but I didn't lead with the I know everything because I didn't and I still don't. I don't lead you knowing everything. I learned so much from all of you. Like you guys blow my mind all the time. I learned so much from you. And that's why I'm so pumped to see so many of you just stepping up and just going for it. You inspire me every single day. It isn't about knowledge. This is about belief and enthusiasm. You are better than no one, and no one is better than you, right? It's true. So in this business, we have got to stop the comparison thing, and we just got to go with it. We do life for a living, and it's pretty freaking awesome. Okay, I'm going to get into some logistics. I'm really excited about this, but before that, raise your hand if you are an Emerald coach or if you've been an Emerald coach. Freaking phenomenal. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a little Kelsey, how did you raise your hand? That is so cute. Do you guys see that at the bottom of the screen? That's so fun. Anyway, it just says like, raised hand. So cute. So here's the deal. How did you go Emerald? Emerald is a big deal, you guys. Emerald starts and generates your business. And here's the deal also. I don't want you to be intimidated with leadership. I don't want you to be intimidated with mentorship. You should have seen me when Lauren Lundberg was a part of our team. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was so excited, and I led with that. Emerald is super important. It generates team cycle bonuses that you won't see right away, but they are going to lead to longevity in this business. Your Emerald status is the beginning, the building blocks to you creating so much financial freedom, but also helping other people get that gift too, that they can be a part of this, that the end result should be people joining this community. The end result in your conversations and social media should be, I want people a part of my tribe. And here's the deal. Maybe you saw this post, maybe you didn't. My Emerald status, me going Emerald because I made a decision, led to this team call right now. Think about it. Think about it. None of you would be here, and Sarah, if Sarah did choose to go Emerald, none of us would be here on this call. It makes me want to cry thinking about that 100 people and more from Team Happy and Fit are going to Coach Summit. That wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have gone Emerald. Are you getting what I'm saying? So Emerald is an important business mark, but it's also the start to creating the community that you were born to lead. That you have this team, whatever its name is, whatever it's going to be, and you're going to have this mama-ship of a team called Team Happy and Fit that you don't need like you needed now, because you're going to be leading in the way that you were so meant to lead with your tribe. And guess who's going to be high-fiving you, maybe guest speaking on those calls, and just freaking excited for you? Me. It's time. It's like the mama bear saying, guys, like, it's time. It's time to start envisioning what your tribe looks like. And I dreamed and thought about Team Happy and Fit. And and I know there's still so many more women and men who are going to join our tribe. And that's why I have to keep going. And it all started because I decided to go Emerald. Emerald is a decision. So how did I go Emerald? Eric, you're becoming Emerald. We were not even engaged and we weren't even married. He was my boyfriend. And he told me not to do this, not to be a coach. And I became a coach because I'm stubborn and I just do what I want anyway. And as soon as I said yes, then he was behind me. He didn't drink Shakeology or do anything like that. And I said, you need to become a coach because I need to hit this goal because I was told that it's important. I just trusted my leaders. I trusted them. And now I look back and I'm like, I retired myself at the age of 26. My husband no longer teaches. We literally have built an insane thing. All because I was told that this is important and I listened. And it is. And I'm telling you that. No BS. Straight up. It's really important. It's going to change your whole life. If you go with it, you can't sit there. You got to keep going. And I feel like I've done you a disservice because I don't think I've talked about this in a really long time. And it's been heavily on my heart. And I was like, what in the hell? I need to talk like this. Because what was it? What got me here? Success Club and Emerald and a whole lot of heart. And a willingness to get up every time I fell because I thought about you. I didn't know your names yet. I didn't know where you lived yet. I didn't know how we would meet yet. But man, did I have a vision for what this team would be. And whoa, has it turned into be just like, what is even going on right now? I am so grateful. But I always was. I was even grateful when Eric signed up. To this day, I'm grateful. Ask him. Everything has been exciting to me. Every moment. Nothing has been more exciting or less exciting. I'm just always excited about every new thing. I'm excited when I see new emeralds. I'm excited when I see new coaches. I'm excited when I see shout outs. I'm excited when I see recognition. So I went emerald by telling Eric that he had to. And then this girl, who's no longer a coach, and I went to her house with a binder a binder of information and sat down with her so nervous, just hoping she would sign up. I didn't know what to say, so I just showed her my binder, my emerald binder, and she signed up out of a miracle. And that's how I became Emerald. And then I signed up my mom. And then someone else signed up on the other leg that's no longer a coach. And then I just kept wash, rinse, repeat. And then I started to realize that Emerald meant community. That Emerald meant something so much more to me. And I didn't piece that together until I started really thinking about this Emerald thing this week, where I was like, holy moly, like this is what this is right here. That's what you can have in your own way, which is so huge. I would love to hear how some of you went Emerald. So me, I forced Eric, and then I went to a house with a binder and was really enthusiastic about something I didn't know anything about because I had to read all of the stuff in the binder. Please don't do that, and I will teach you to not do that. So could someone share with how you went Emerald? I would just love to hear. Lauren, Kristen, Erica.
I can.
Yes, go ahead. Sarah, go ahead.
So I started, cat. I started in September, and I don't know, I managed to get, like, my best friend joined without an argument. She's like, yeah, I'll do this with you. And
what did you say to her? Did you say, will you do this with me?
I don't remember what I said to her. She was, I don't know. She just.
It was your enthusiasm?
Could have been.
It was your enthusiasm.
But I don't know. I really pushed the discount. A couple of people, Nella, she's not on tonight, but she had told me, it's actually like on my bucket list to do some sort of coaching and stuff like that. I was like, just do it. And you'll get a discount on your shake, and you can build this whole thing. So she was my first coach. And then I had another coach, but she ended up leaving. Again, I pushed the discount for that and just extra money. I mean, she was in school. She didn't have a lot of extra money. So
thanks for sharing that. Here's the deal. Sarah was enthusiastic, and she shared her heart, and she told what to do, if that makes sense. She just said, hey, this is what I think you need to do. You need to save money, and you need to be part of this community. More than likely, don't guarantee your failure by quitting. Wherever you get to, not everyone is going to be there with you who helped you along that journey with you. Does that make sense? It's just how it goes in life and business. If you were to read Dave Ramsey books and the people who used to work with him that no longer do, it's really rare in any kind of business that all the same people who started are still there now. The only difference is the person who was wherever just didn't quit. Does that make sense? So those people it's all a choice to believe in the potential or not. And I cannot speak of it enough. This whole opportunity has changed every aspect of who I am. Every part, the way I dream, the way I think, the way I feel, the way I want to be, the way I want to make an impact, the way I see the world. When I see people hurting and suffering, I don't get pissed off. It's just more of like, man, I have so much more work to do. I get why they're hurting. I get why they're judgmental. I get why they're opinionated. That's their defense mechanism. It's easier to lean on opinions than it is to admit that you're insecure or afraid. It's easier to be judgmental to your friend starting a business because you're afraid of losing them, or you just had a bad experience yourself, right? When you start to shape your perspective, you start to really see why the world's so hurting, right? And that's taught me, this business has taught me that. It is a life skill that I've learned, right? Lauren, how did you go Emerald?
I signed up in December, and I had already helped 2 people, but as soon as I signed up, I started talking to my sister about it right away. Her and I had done PIO and then told her to do it before I became a coach. And then when I signed up, I basically just kept telling her, you would love this. You need to check this out. Like, you need to do this with me. And she signed up. We were at Christmas together at our parents' house, and I just got on the computer and showed her the team page. And basically, think about it, it was like a sneak peek, and it was like, hey, look at this. Like, it's not scammy. Like, check this out. Like, look at all this support.
All 4 of us posting in the team page. Oh, wait, maybe.
Look at this girl, Julianne. She's so fun. But basically, so I hit Success Club 6 with her signing up with that. It's funny talking to her now because she was not sold on Shakeology. She was going to get her first bag and then canceled. But that's a different story. Then I planned to sign Caleb up, but I waited until January so that I would have 2 Success Club points in January.
You guys, Lindsay's about to be a 2-star coach too. And meaning these 2 sisters have built financial freedom in their life, but also built passion in their life. They feel fulfilled in their life. Like they're making an extreme impact in their life, all because they decided, right? Which is so crazy. Jill Brown, how did you go Emerald?
So obviously I had been on a team previously. So I kind of had people already just kind of waiting in the background, just waiting for me to sign back up again. But people that just held on with me. So I signed up my husband later on. So he's directly under me. Because I had to wait 6 months. But then I had a great friend of mine who signed up right away with me, and she was totally on board with BOD and Shakeology, loved it, still with me today. And then I have my stepdad as well, and he's just like, he's a lover of Shakeology and all that good stuff. So it just created that strong foundation. So
Okay, so what I'm hearing, a lot of family members and a lot of connection and a lot of belief and a lot of do this with me. Like that, like we make this goal so overly complicated. Misty, how did you go Emerald, sister?
I right away signed up my husband. I mean, I put him underneath me probably within a couple of weeks after signing up as a coach myself, and ordered him Shakeology because I knew him because I was loving it and he kept stealing mine. So I'm like, you need to get your own. Stop taking my stuff. So then my friend who lived next door to me was seeing what I was doing and that I was losing weight, and she was like, I have got to do what you're doing. So I told her all about it, and she was like, okay, sign me up. So she signed up, and then she signed her husband up underneath her. They're not with me anymore, but they're still like my friends, you know, we still talk about stuff. And but so like you said, things change, people change, but you just got to keep going. You got to keep building. You got to keep adding people, because people are going to come and they're going to go. And yeah.
I think it all comes down to vision, and I just cannot express like how exciting it is to see so many coaches feeling good, feeling confident, getting transformations, and that is every validation to me where I'm like, you deserve also financial freedom. Like all of you are so excited and so inspired and so encouraged, and you're willing to show up and you're willing to help and you're willing to be there. And I just cannot express enough that it's simple. This is such a simple business that we overcomplicate. It is 4 vital behaviors, and that inviting piece is the scariest, but it's the best because you all wouldn't be here. That's what I'm saying is like Emerald is such a beautiful gift because you get to give this gift to other people. So I'm just going to really encourage you to think about who is that one person, even if it's not a coach yet, that one person that you were like, I need them to be here with me. I need them to be in these groups with me. I want them to go alongside me in this journey. And how can I speak to them? How can I speak to them this week? Is it FaceTime, text? Is it a video message? And just expressing my insane enthusiasm and belief in what this is really about. That you all, I love motivating. I love inspiring. I love building you up, but I also have a huge passion for showing you how to hit goals and become financially free. And the reason I have such a passion on that is because my limiting belief in life was money was hard to come by. And this entire business has changed my view on what I know is possible, that I never knew someone like me could be doing something like this. And it is my duty, my obligation to help you realize that as a motivator and as an encourager, you also deserve to not live paycheck to paycheck. That you also, like, I don't know what it is with like us feeling like we shouldn't, like that's a bad thing. I've had a lot of conversations with you all before where you're like, I feel guilty getting paid for doing this. And I remember talking to Erica saying, should we tell your doctor to not get paid? Like, he takes care of your babies. Like what? No, you deserve it. And maybe that's just because we haven't grown up in a culture realizing that it's not bad to make money at something you love. And for some reason we have guilt tied to that we shouldn't, that we should just do this like free. But you guys, we, in a way, like, it's not about the money. Does that make sense? Like, this is changing every aspect of my life, but I think we need to stop letting those excuses and burdens and barriers and obstacles be our reason to not go for it. Because when Morgan Schaefer texts me and says that she made $1,000 last month, I was just like, that literally, I've never felt more successful in that moment than then. Or seeing Lindsay and Lauren go 2-star and experience so much more freedom, or seeing all, like, it's just crazy. Like, I can't even express how awesome it is that this is happening to so many coaches, all because they made a decision to not quit, and all they did was say, come with me. I'm going to keep doing this whether or not you do this with me, but I got to keep going. This is changing my life too much, but I need you to do this. This is so awesome. And that's how you speak. So we have a coaching sneak peek. It's live. It's going to be ongoing. All you have to do is get people in there, tag them under the videos, and just honestly, you guys, nothing can be worse than taking a binder to someone's house. Like there's like we got some resources for you that actually like are personable and like actually have cool stories that aren't text and just like reading through the text together like you're studying for a test. Like, it's good what we have now, please. So I just encourage you to think about that one person and just lead with it. I know you're afraid of rejection and failure and like judgment and all that stuff, but at what cost? At what cost are you willing to live behind those fears? Because on the other side is so much freedom. On the other side is so much greatness. And I forget where I heard this, but they said that the greatest risk in all of this is not going for it. People think the greatest risk is like, oh, I'm gonna get rejected, or I am not gonna cover the cost of my challenge pack. No, actually, the greatest risk in you not going for it means that you won't have $35,000 a month. Coaches are making $35,000 a month. Your greatest risk in this is not having a team of beautiful people. That's your greatest risk. It's not the no's that you get. It's not the ignored messages that you get. It's not the setbacks that you have. Your greatest risk is not having a community like this. Your greatest risk is you don't even know who's going to be on your team a year from now. You know what I'm saying? That's your greatest risk by not going for it. And I think a lot of times we settle for mediocrity and also comfort. We stick with the same old people that are not ready. And we know deep down they're not ready, but we're just crossing our fingers that this week that they are, because we had a little challenge in our Zoom to reach out to that one person that we need to do this with. And I know that they're not ready, but Julianne, yep, I reached out to them. I did my job. You guys, it's time to be realistic, right? So I just wanted you guys to know that Emerald equals awesome. And it's not, Emerald itself is not going to make you feel any different, but knowing that you could build the coolest community. And then I think about this, it's not even the community of Team Happy and Fit. It's like now there's other teams that are forming because of Team Happy and Fit, which is even cooler, right? It's not that I feel like I've gotten fit in so many areas of my life. It's that you're getting fit in area of your life, because I'm going to get fit in every area of my life regardless if you do it or not. Like, I'm not going to stop because so-and-so stopped. I had 3 coaches quit in one day when I first started as a coach. Buzz kill. I had a diamond coach quit on the day of summit 2 years ago. Buzz kill. I didn't let them stop me. I just kept going. And we hit elite that year. I can't even believe it. We were number 46, I think, in the entire network that year. And everything was stacked against us. But I'm not a quitter. So either way, I'm going. But why not go together? Like, why don't we go do this together? And then you can start to really see the impact that you can make. You in? I'm like getting red and hot and sweaty and like real passionate over here. I'm wearing pants I shouldn't be because it's getting real hot. Real quick. Anyway, Emerald's a freaking big deal. I need to see what time I'm at because I have 5 minutes left and a lot more content to go to that I'm not going to. So that one person, think about them. To Be Mindset opens up tomorrow. I was on a call today with people who were in the test group with it. It has massively changed their lives. They were crying. And I wasn't 100% behind this program, to be honest, just because I didn't do research on it. And like 80-day obsession had just come out, and I was like, I don't know. And I am getting behind this. So I created a launch party for you with the prices, with videos. All you have to do is talk about, I would consider making 10 posts. I literally got behind To Be Mindset last week with Sarah Morrison. Kai was there. She knows. I was like, Kai, you want to do this with me? I was like, that's the moment I decided to get behind this. And you better believe I've gotten obsessed with learning about it. So in 1 week, I've gotten obsessed with learning about To Be Mindset. And here's what I know. Well, in our launch party, it's the price, the videos. All you have to do is I would suggest making 10 different posts about emotional eating. Do polls on your Instagram. Do things that interact, but share your story with food. Do you binge eat? Do you have a bad relationship with food? But don't think always now either. Think about a year or 5 years ago. And Erica always tells me in college she had an ice cream cone every day. Like, that could be one of her stories, because there are people who have ice cream every day and they need this program, right? And this program, To Be Mindset, is going to change the way you think. It's really simplified, and it's a process of thinking. So it's not going to be Alana saying, no, you can't have that. What it's going to be like is this. Oh, I know that if I eat this, the scale tomorrow is not going to go down. If I eat this, the scale will go down. And you know what's even crazier about this program is she teaches you to be okay with the scale. How many of you are like, out with the scale, ignore it? Like, no, she's like, no, this is an important tool and you're not going to hate it. You're actually going to like it. She teaches you to like the scale. What the heck is that about? And to where you're literally like evaluating, oh, and people are saying that they can't stop losing weight. And they said pregnant women can do this. It's not about losing weight. If people need to gain weight, if people have a hard time getting in all their food. So teachers struggle with breakfast. Hands down. I think CrossFit struggles with eating healthy. You see all of the donuts and all of that stuff. So this is a great program for anybody, right? And so whatever that might be, it's easy to follow. They're going to make a pregnant guideline. So it's going to be, there was a pregnant group with the To Be Mindset test group, and there were 20 of them in there, and she tweaked it for pregnant women, which I thought was really cool. She says, they say don't push against it. There are going to be times that scale post, it's on day 2, people are going to fight it. In your groups, encourage them to push through it and trust you. It's less about stress and more about joy. And like I said, the scale is going to be a tool, not, you're not going to be addicted to it, but you're going to want to use it, she said. But it's like in a good way, if that makes sense. I want to do this program, one, because I think that this is the cure to obesity. I think that this is actually the cure for what everyone needs. The containers are great, but they don't work for everybody, and they can be too restrictive. And this program is not about restriction. You will not be told no. And so if you want to eat that Snickers bar, you eat it, but you're going to start thinking about the Snickers bar. Does that make sense? But not in a guilty way. You're going to start to logically think about that Snickers bar, and you're going to tie it to, that's not going to help me with this goal. I'm not doing this justice on the way that they were emotionally describing this process. It's going to be a very emotional process. And how this is going to go is some of you are going to need to watch a video. One of her videos, there's 41, maybe for 2 weeks. Like, you might take a way longer time going through this program than someone else, if that makes sense. So I really do believe this is the answer. I really do. And one of her sessions costs $300 an hour for all of the material we're getting. And on a side note, for someone doing this, I think them signing up as a coach and joining her group is going to be powerful. I heard she answers every question. She writes them all down and addresses them in lives. She's really intentional, really positive, and has a background story of how she lost the 75 pounds. And people have lost 15 pounds in their first month, or their 5th month, they've lost 35. And there was one girl talking how in her first day she lost 2 pounds, and she had been the same weight for 8 months. She said, that doesn't seem like a lot to you, but you don't understand. I could not break it. And something switched in their mind, if that makes sense. So we have the launch party. Nikki Touch made a canned response, so you can use either or. The launch party, I think, is more encouraging of other people, especially when you tag people, celebrate them. I would even make a graphic if they join with a package in the launch party and say, congrats, Carrie, she got the whatever package. I'm so excited for her. And you can put that in the launch party, and it's just going to get everybody super excited about it. Then we made also a challenge group for 2B mindset, if that makes sense. I really encourage you guys to do some research on this. I'm really excited about it. And I wasn't not excited, but I wasn't as behind it. Does that make sense? And after I was hearing everyone's testimonies today, I was just like, they were like tears. And they just were like, this has changed my whole life. The way I look at food, my relationship with it, the way my body feels. It's like I'm not trapped in my mind anymore. And I was like, that is so crazy that these tools and Alana are doing this to them. So I just want you guys to know that. I'm going to hit end. You all are